The sun's out today, so I thought y'all might want a garden update. It's been about a week and a half. Let's go. I've got all my vegetable plants out here hardening off. They've been doing this for a week or two because I'm getting ready to plant them out there. Some of y'all remember when I cut back my pepper plants, and some of y'all were appalled. But as you see in the joints, they're growing new leaves. And so those will be new stalks. My plants will be shorter, stockier, and I'll end up with more peppers in the long run. They're doing just fine. My tomatoes are actually getting kind of big, some of these for the cups, because I've had to wait. We did have a freeze last week. So most likely I will plant these deep because tomatoes with these little hairs all up and down the stem will put on new roots. There was Goose. Y'all know he would show up. So anyway, I'll plant these taller ones that got a little lanky deep. So the plant will be deeper in the ground and it'll put roots on along the stalk and it'll make it a little bit healthier and sturdier in the wind its first few weeks in the ground. The roses are still bushing out, looking really, really good. If y'all remember, this was my golden celebration. I told y'all it was the first one I bought in my mom's memory. The last freeze, he still interrupted me. The last freeze, this is the only rose it affected, and I had to cut back 11 blooms off of this plant. The frost got the tips of my potatoes, but they're putting back out. The garlic is still looking wonderful. Typically, I'll harvest garlic here in June. These are some of my cool winter flowers. These are poppies. I really should have planted them sooner, but they're still going to come up, and I feel like I'll still get some blooms off of these before it gets too hot. A couple of potted peonies that I have going. If y'all remember, my blueberry plants were all budded out, and now they're growing little blueberries. This is some self-seeded Orlea from a cut flower garden last year. I just left it because it's pretty. I only have 2 garden beds that I'm going to plant this year because most of y'all know the house is for sale, and I'm just going to start a few things this year. But my tatsoi is really growing, and if you look along my little trellis here, I have sugar snap peas coming up everywhere. A little bit of lettuce that should put on out, and I'll get to harvest a little bit of that before it gets too hot, as well as a couple of different kale. The tulips, they're pretty much finished, so I'm pulling all of these up today, and this will be where my tomatoes are. Culinary basil will be right there because that actually is a good companion plant for your tomatoes because there's a lot of your bugs that do not like basil. I didn't show y'all this last time, but this is my oregano, and this is a low-growing oregano that spreads. It'll actually go everywhere, and I cut off of this and dry it and use it and cook. This is some mint, and as you know, mint spreads like crazy. My potted muscadines that I bought for our next property are still putting out. They actually had frost damage and all the leaves that were on here that one night got knocked off, and I was sad about that, but they are putting back out. And we have some purple asparagus coming up. Look how fat these are. They're gorgeous. Look, I had to mow yesterday, so I get to rake. The daffodils have finished except for that one. We're going to come out here to the iris bed. If y'all remember, they were budding up. I think last time maybe. These 2 were kind of small. That one's been budded out open a while, so it's looking bad. I've got some purple ones. These are usually my first ones to open, and they usually open Easter weekend, so I'm hoping for that again. I've got quite a few of those that are open. There's Brantley at the chicken coop playing in the ants, and one of the neighbor's dogs. This is one that got left along the fence line when I had some here, and I think it'll open tomorrow, and I'm excited to see which one this is. Well, I'm fixing to go put some compost on my beds, pull up the tulips, get ready to plant. Look at this eggplant. It's massive.